sorry. I'll try harder.
Hello? Hey girl, what's going on? How you doing?
The Slayer Statute has prevented Nick from profiting from the crimes he committed. As of now, let's talk about it.
Well, girl, we got to talk. Today we got to talk about the effects of, or what happens when you go and you're no longer here. So we're gonna look at Nick Reiner, and then we're gonna also peep into Malcolm Jamal Warner and the situation with his wife and how she got to go get the money from his mama. But let's go ahead and look at Nick, okay? Girl, tune in. Girl, I can't. All right. Bye. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Yes. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing good. So, listen, as you know, I go back and I follow these subjects, and the subject of Nick Reiner was very interesting to me. So, now, as you know, he allegedly unalived his parents. But what we're going to talk about right now is not the allegedly. We're going to talk about the audacity. I don't know if y'all know what audacity means, but audacity is a word you need to get to know, because a lot of people probably got the audacity and do some shit that make you go, you got the audacity, but Nick Reiner got the audacity. So let's get started and take a look at it, because apparently, thank goodness for U.S. laws, they're preventing him from getting the money from the people who are no longer here because they loved him. Okay, so first let's go ahead and take a look at the article we're going to look at. I'm going to first look at, y'all know I'm a people person, but I am going to look at NBC News because there was something that caught my attention in there. But this one is, Nick Reiner has spent some of his family money on murder defense, the lawyers say. He spent around $200,000 so far right now. It says here, and this article is dated August 17th, and it's written by Madeline Morrison. It says Nick Reiner has paid for at least part of his murder defense with money set aside for him by the parents he's accused of unaliving. And he argues he's due even more, the probate lawyers revealed Monday. The fact that he opened his mouth to say that is just really mind-boggling to me. All right, Reiner, 32, wasn't in court as attorneys argue over his right to the $1.63 million in a trust fund acclaimed director Rod Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner created for him because they loved him enough to set his future up. And my thing is, he ain't gonna do nothing but blow it anyway. Yeah, it's gonna go up his nose, in his arm, in his mouth. So no, allegedly. So his parents were fatally in the home in Los Angeles Brentwood neighborhood in December. Reiner has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of murder with special circumstances alleging of multiple murders and lying in wait. Anita Wu, an attorney representing Reiner's probate interests, revealed that $200,000 of the trust fund has been spent, which includes an undisclosed amount for his previous attorney, Alan Jackson. Okay, so he has already spent quite a bit of money. He's trying to get the best legal defense. Let's go on and see what people have. Okay, so as y'all know, I like people. So it says here, Nick Reiner was blocked from $1.5 million trust fund due to the Slayer Statute as he faces murder charges for parents' killings. Now let's look at what the Slayer Statute is. What I'm gonna look at here, guys, which is common sense, but it said this is common sense. Okay, just so y'all know it. It is common law that persons cannot benefit from their crimes. For this reason, most states have enacted the Slayer rule that prevents a killer from sharing in the victim's estate. However, terms in the Slayer rules, such as willful and unlawful, can be difficult to apply, as illustrated by the situation in which a slayer is found not guilty by reasons of insanity. That's why a lot of them want to do something. Oh, I hit you! I hit you! I did. I don't remember. I'm going to start acting like I don't remember doing some shit too. The Washington Supreme Court has recently addressed whether a man who killed his mother and was then found not guilty by reason of insanity in criminal court can inherit a portion of his mother's estate. I say hell no. I tell you right now, hell no. Okay? You give me one sign that I can't trust your ass. I don't care if you my child, whoever. nigga, I mean, Lord forgive me with that for that word. You even coming off of it. I don't even want you to know what near on none of it. Because I feel like you'll kill my ass to get it. But let's look at the Slayer statute real quick. We'll look at my state, even though this is a national thing. The killer not entitled to receive property or other benefits by reason of a victim's death. A surviving person who unlawfully and intentionally kills or participates in procuring the death of the descendant is not entitled to any benefits under the will or under the Florida probate code, and the estate of the descendant passes if the killer has predeceased the descendant. Property appointed by the will of the descendant to or for the benefit of the killer passes as if the killer has predeceased the descendant. So if he had kids, they'll get it. But his ass damn sure ain't gonna get it. Okay, so far. But you know, attorneys are greedy and they gonna get their dollars. But let's go ahead and look at this real quick, guys. Okay? It reads here that Nick Reiner's request to access his trust fund to cover court fees and commissionary items have been blocked. That means you got to eat like with the sandwich bread that everybody, you ain't even getting none from the canteen, Nick. Trustees cited California's Slayer Statute while denying the request, stating that criminal proceedings will decide the fate of the money. I guess if he's found not guilty, or they say by reason of insanity. The latest trustee for Nick Reiner's trust fund has blocked his request to accept money to cover the court fees and commissionary costs, citing California's Slayer Statute. The 32-year-old, who's accused of murdering his parents, Rod Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner, filed a petition to access the trust fund. Let me ask y'all this question. If your children unalived you, would you want them to have the money? Ask yourself that. Now, I know we got, unconditional love. But the Bible also tells you is to protect your heart. So, I know we love our kids. But not everybody that conceived from our body, we may end up being in the best of situations or relationships for. Okay? So it says here, the previous and incoming fiduciary set to oversee the trust, Paul Cannon and Jody Pace Montgomery, have opposed his request in court. Good job, y'all. Papers filed in early August citing a California law known as the Slayer Statute. The law is preventing him from getting it. Nick claimed in his initial petition that he has not yet received the mandatory distribution of 1/2 of the trust he should have received at the age of 30. Y'all do know that they can get drugs in jail, right? He also demands that the first half of the trust payment be released to him so he can cover legal expenses and fund his commissionary account, as he can buy basic necessities like socks and hygiene products. Baby, I can smell the entitlement of this person. I can smell his entitlement through the phone. In court papers obtained by People, new trustees Montgomery has prevented Nick from accessing money from the descendants' trust. So it looks like at least they've been able to do that. Nick, who is currently behind bars at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles, was recently indicted on the murder charges. So he's scheduled to return to court for a pretrial hearing on September 15th. Let's look at what the people got to say. Shoulda, coulda said he has had serious mental issues for most of his life. His parents knew that and both had great empathy for their son. I have empathy too, but sometimes empathy could be your enemy. I think even as horrific as what he did, they would want him to have a good attorney so he could be receiving treatment while he is locked up. I don't know about that. I know one damn thing. I don't think so. He's never going to be a free man again, but if one of them were around, they would try hard to ensure he was in a secure mental health facility, ward, or prison. I wouldn't. I'd let his ass rot. I pray for his siblings will. Kim C. said, makes me wonder if the trust money was the motive for the argument and murder in the first place. Thank you, Kim. Perhaps Nick was expecting the money at 30 and his parents refused because of his addiction, mental health problems, and he thought he could kill them and get the money, but he didn't anticipate it being withheld. It's said that instead of being heartbroken over his parents' death and being remorseful, his priority is trust money. Kim, you on point. Jenny said this is just a part of him that just can't handle being told no. Perhaps his parents told him he had to leave the house after his actions at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. They may have argued before they went to bed. He had a life that only 2% of people in this country get to have, and his dad got him screenwriting job. Hey guys, so we are opening up because we were talking about Nick And Nick was not able to get the funds as of now because of the Slayer Statute in California, which it protects the estate of the people who actually earned the money from the people who actually took their life to obtain the money. It's basically saying that your privileged tail was too greedy, so we're not here and we're not going to give it to you now. And it looks like the Montgomery people are protecting their estate, and I think that's a good idea. Someone said in one of the comments that they think that his family may have wanted him to have the money. I doubt that. That's just like somebody cutting your arm off in real time and then saying, hey, I know I cut your arm off, but you know that when you went and you was working all them hours and stuff like that, can I drive your car since you only got one arm? No. We got to get more rational and more realistic about people. Stop thinking from a selfish mindset. We really do. I don't know how many people actually carry the empathetic energy or the empathetic spirit, but you better get it. Because it is not okay to harm anyone, and then think that you're going to be accepted. The weirdness that I see from narcissistic individuals who go out of their way to target and harm, and then because they know that because see, narcissists have multiple faces. A narcissist will have a face for every person that they know, and have every one of those people thinking that they're special. Baby, you're not special. That narcissist is copying your energy. This boy was very narcissistic to the point where he decided that he couldn't have his way. He was just going to take it, allegedly, take his parents' life. Okay? So I've given you guys the information. I just wanted to let you know that I don't approve of it. And it ain't my money for the people in the comments. But I would think that anybody who was taken from this planet early against their will, and do you know how it is painful to stick yourself with a paper clip, much less somebody stabbing you with a knife? Don't stab me like a fucking Sour Patch Kid and then come back and kiss the same wound you made. No, it's not okay. And as a matter of fact, it's abnormal. Okay? This baby girl 401 signing off. Sign off in the comments. Tell me how you feel. If you were a generous individual and you were wealthy and your child unalives you, would you want them to have the money? Thank you, U.S. justice system, for doing this one correctly. For right now.